I got shirts. Before I even talk about anything, I'm just gonna show y'all shirts. I got a bunch of shirts, wave shirts. I got blue. I got black. I got gray and black. I got white and black. Let me show a little bit. Show a little bit. White and black. And I have red. I still got a bunch of red and white. I still got a bunch of these highlighter green ones. So yeah, I just want to open the live on that. I'm actually about to take a walk and we just gonna have a conversation. Gonna take a walk. It's been an interesting week for me. Well, let me take this off of one of my ears. All right. I'm in the middle of Apopka right now. I'm just out here on 436. I'm just about to walk up and down this street and we just gonna talk. All right. It's been an interesting week for me making this film. I want to talk about this film. I want to talk about some of the content I've been putting out. I want to talk about money. I want to talk about the wave shirts that I have because I'm trying to sell those. Yeah. And I want to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. So again, I'm out here on 436. I'm just walking. If y'all outside right now, you're probably going to see me because I'm literally outside. I'm like in the middle of Apopka right now. All right. So this past week, I did something that I've never done with this film. So, okay, before I made the film, I was online talking a lot about this gratuity idea. Is my microphone working good? Mike said simmering and what? I'm on right now I'm at the intersection of 436 and Piedmont with Kiowa. All right, so before I actually started working on my I'm calling it a phone film. Like, I'm purposely calling it a phone film because I want people to know and understand that I actually made this on my phone. Like, I didn't use anything else in the creation of the film. And my goal, this was my goal. Like, when I set out to record this video, because I didn't think it was going to be such a long video. I knew it was going to be kind of long, but I'm usually able to keep my content at least within like the 15-minute range. So I wasn't planning on making the video any longer than 15 or 20 minutes. But as I started to create, it just kept getting deeper and deeper, because the whole goal of the video, what inspired me to make the video, was this whole gratuity idea that I was pushing. And I'm no longer using the word gratuity because I was running into a lot of critiques about that word. I'm just about to walk this way, man. All right, damn. They look like they working on something over there anyway. So yeah. Actually, I'm gonna walk this way. I want to stay on the main street. I don't want to go on a side street. All right, so I kept running into like counter thoughts and counter opinions and arguments against the way I was using the word gratuity. And I had to acknowledge and respect it because it's already a word in the English language and it has a definition and I'm aware of it. Like, I know gratuity means to provide a service and to be tipped. And when I kept hearing what you guys were saying about the word, I couldn't help but acknowledge it as true, because it's like, all right, I can't argue with people about the definition of a word that already exists. So it made me dial it back, and I was like, okay, if people really care about words, which this is what I'm learning about. This is what I'm learning about this society and human beings. Like, words are everything to us. Like, without the right words, it's like things don't even exist to us. We can't even like process it if it doesn't have the word connected to it. So, or the right word, or a word that people can understand as to be real. So I'm moving on a level that's deeper than words. So I'm the type, I'll take a word that already exists, but if I want it to mean something else based on where my energy is, then I'll just use the word how I want to use it. And then people will look at me like I'm crazy, like, what the fuck, that word doesn't mean that. What you mean? But in my mind, I'm like, how you gonna tell me what this word means to me? Like, don't judge me based on the word. Judge me based on like what I'm showing you and what I'm telling you about what I mean. But people don't care about that. People care more about the word than they do about the energy. So when I started to understand that through the conversations I was having, I was like, you know what? And I was having so many arguments. It was draining me. It was literally draining me trying to explain myself to people because I really want people to get it. And I really need y'all support. So it was really honestly hurting my feelings. It was like really taking a toll on me. And it was making me tired. So I was like, all right, there's gotta be a better approach. There's gotta be a better approach to this. So I said, instead of me getting online, spazzing out, yelling at people, and like most people like to call it begging. Most people like to look at what I'm doing and they like to call it, oh, you getting online and begging for money. You need to stop begging for money, bro. And I'm like, all right, maybe I have to adjust my approach. As passionate as I can be and as crazy as it can look at times, I'm a very smart individual and I know how to articulate and I know how to adjust my approach. I'm not that stubborn to the point where I can't take critiques and I don't hear what people are saying. So my whole intent behind making the video, which ended up turning into this full-length film, I just wanted to explain to people. Well, number one, I wanted to create a new word. That was the number one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to create a new word that has not been created. I literally was setting out to sit down, put some letters together, and actually create my own word that would describe this monetary support that I've been asking people for. So that was the number one goal in making the video, so that I can effectively express what I'm asking for. That way I don't have to argue with people about verbiage. Now, before I could explain to people what I want monetarily, I'm a very deep individual, and it's always deeper than money for me. So when I started to make the video, I said, what's the best way for me to get people to understand the money idea? And it just made me go deep into myself. I'm like, I have to show these people who I am. I really have to show these people who I am. And then that's how I came up with the concept of, well, people understand things best through comparison. Because throughout life, whenever people are doing anything, I don't care what you're doing, people will look at it and they'll say, oh, you remind me of this. Oh, you remind me of that. What you're doing, oh, you remind. So I've run into a lot of comparisons in this path that I'm taking. I've been compared to a lot of different people. So that's the approach I took to the video. And that's where it kind of started, where in the beginning of the film, I'm basically, comparing. I'm using comparisons to show people the energy that I possess and the path that I'm on in life, and why it's been such a hard time for me to find my place out here. Because people are looking at me and trying to put me in one specific box. And in the video, I'm basically breaking down the box that I want to be in, but it's not the box people perceive me to be in, because from the appearance look and from my skill set, people are placing me in the wrong box. They're placing me, I don't want to be in any box, first of all, but they're placing me in the wrong category. If you're going to place me in a category as far as the type of monetary support and the type of impact I'm trying to have on humanity or just on people. So that was the goal. That's the whole goal with the film. And because I have this creative mind and I go so deep, I had one day, right? I went to Kitland Park. I think it's Kitland Nelson. Yeah, Kitland Nelson Park in Apopka. I've recorded a few pieces of content out there. I went out there to record the video, and I spent a day out there just with myself, by myself. So it was a very spiritual thing. Like when people have those times in their life where they need to reset, and I deal with a lot of people. I take on a lot of energy, so I be needing those times just to be with myself, to talk to myself. So when I'm having those moments, because I'm an artist and I'm a content creator and I'm so comfortable on camera speaking to people, I'm basically sharing spiritual moments with myself, with people. So when I'm talking to the phone, like even right now, there's nobody around me right now. I'm literally pacing up and down the street by myself, having a moment with myself in front of y'all. That's what this is. That's why this is important. That's why this is it's a very spiritual connection that I develop with people. And this is what I think a lot of people don't understand, because we live in a world where social media is so common. We're so used to seeing a lot of information and a lot of videos and a lot of pictures and a lot of just stuff, that people don't understand that what I'm doing is a lot different. It's a lot different, and it's very important. So that was the goal with the film, and it turned into a very, very, very deep, spiritual, controversial at times type of project. So when I finished the film, it ended up, these motherfuckers about to have a car accident right in front of me. What the hell is going on? All right. Sorry. Where was I at? So sometimes you can set out with a certain mission or a certain goal in a project or in a move that you're trying to make in your life, and it can turn into something completely different once you start to move in it. That's the spiritual part of it. So this film was a complete spiritual experience. And where I started in the film and where I thought I was headed, where that film ended up, I did not even know it was going to end up where it ended up. But it ended up exactly where I needed it to end up, so that I could find the answer I was looking for in myself. Because while I was trying to explain to y'all what I'm asking for as far as the type of support, the film actually did something for me that was greater than what I set out to do for y'all, actually it was for me. Everything was definitely in line with what I want. Like, I'm trying to get something that I want. I'm being very clear. And this is actually part of the problem in this life, is that people who fight for what they want for themselves oftentimes get labeled like negative words. So a lot of times in my life, I'll be called selfish. I'll be called arrogant, self-centered. What else? Narcissistic. Like, it's all these negative terms that get put on people that fight for themselves and actually have enough bravery to speak out and walk in what they actually want. Because for some reason, we just feel like that's the wrong thing to do. Like, you should praise everybody else, but don't praise yourself too much. Praise everything outside of yourself, though. That's cool. Uplift other people, but don't uplift yourself too much, because then you're going to come off superior, or you're going to come off like you're better than people. So one thing that this film did for me is it freed me from that feeling. Because it's been a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to talk about since I've been really young. And I just know, with this film that I made, I was able to express everything that I've ever wanted to express, even the parts that were making me kind of uneasy. It's just a bunch, man. It's just a lot of energy. You would have to watch the film. For those of you who haven't seen the film, just hit my inbox. I'll send you a link. It's also on my page too if you want to see it, but you can only see it on YouTube. I tried to post it on Facebook, but the film is so long, and I did it all from my phone, so I couldn't export it in my usual resolution. I usually export in 720, but because it was the film is literally an hour 8 minutes and 30 seconds long. So I had to export it in a lower resolution. But I actually like that too, because that's another thing that kind of distracts people in this life, is everything becomes everything gets like your value gets reduced to like this, like how good you look, how good it sounds, the quality of something. Even if you talk about money, like the things that are more expensive look nicer, they sound crisper, like they have a higher quality. But when it comes to art, when it comes to messages, when it comes to a person's energy and their real value to humanity, it's not about how they look. It ain't about, necessarily how they sound. It is about how they articulate and how they express themselves, and maybe, the skills that they've worked on. That's a real thing. There are levels to like the human mind. We're not all the same. We all have different gifts and different ways that we put our stuff out. So, I know I have a very important message that has to be heard in this film. And it's not like this high budget Hollywood film that was shot with like the best cameras. No, like that's one of the things that I love about what I'm doing, is that, and I want to keep it raw like this. Like no matter how popular I get, no matter how big my network gets, and no matter how big my opportunities get, because everything's going to grow. I'm always going to find more and meet better people and make more money. Like everything's going to continue to go up. But I don't ever want to lose touch with the raw authenticity of how I create, because that's what makes it special. So, yeah, I'm just happy that I was able to make something to where I don't have to explain myself anymore. And I never had to explain myself, but there is, when you're trying to get something from people, and we're all trying to fight for something, like on different levels. We all need certain things in our life. We need resources. We need support. We need help. We need love. We need money. We need, like, it's a lot of different things that we're trying to get to. And with the particular path that I have, because I don't prioritize money, I really have to explain to people exactly what it is. So I get a lot of people that say, man, you ain't got to explain yourself. You ain't got to explain yourself to these people. But it's like, no, I do, because I want you to understand. So I wouldn't feel okay with myself if I didn't do everything that I could do to get people to understand what I'm working on or what I'm asking for. Because the only reason I'm asking for what I want is so that I can continue on this selfless mission for humanity that I've been on since a very young age. So with the film, it was an opportunity for me to dig deeper into myself and show people like older clips of me, all type of just things that I can put in your face so that you can see really the energy that I possess, and that it's not like this fake thing. It's not something I'm trying too hard to be. It's just who I've been my entire life. So that's really like, as an artist, I just feel like a lot of us, and this is something I expressed in the film, I'm not just an artist either. Like, it's a lot of messages that I had to express through the film that I just can't express through like videos like this, where I'm just speaking and having a real moment, an authentic moment. Like when I'm able to actually sit and edit and actually say the exact words that I want to say at specific times so that I can give you a specific message. That was a really fun experience. And I spent like 4 or 5 days working on this film. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't go outside. Like only thing I did was, of course, I went and got food at different places because I gotta eat. But other than eating, like I didn't do anything. I wasn't making money. I wasn't doing business. I wasn't doing anything. I just had to sit and edit the video. That's all I was focused on. And when I posted it, like it felt like this weight was just off of me. Like, and I always know that I have more to do and more to create, but I'll be honest, man, it's been like this it's been this weight on me for so long, like feeling like I have to do something and do more. And that's the thing that keeps me getting up every day, because I know it's more for me to do. And I have this purpose that I have committed myself to. Same way people will commit themselves to a religion or commit themselves to a relationship. Whatever you commit yourself to that makes you feel like your life matters. I can't stand these loud ass cars. I ain't gonna lie. I can't stand when y'all be having these loud ass cars. Yeah. So I think there's like this healthy pressure that we have to feel every day. I don't avoid life's pressures and challenges, because every time I'm faced with something that challenges me, like, I love that shit. As tough as those times are, like, it brings the best out of me. It strengthens me. Like, it shows me that I'm really who I think I am. Like, you're gonna know if you are who you think you are in the moments when stuff starts to get tough. Like, are you gonna fold? Are you gonna, like, give up on what you know you're supposed to be doing? Are you gonna allow the opinions of other people to make you move as less of yourself? Because it's been a lot of times where I get advice from people. Sometimes, and a lot of times that advice doesn't come from like a loving place. Some of my friends, they really love me, and I can tell when they hit me up, like, they're giving me words of advice and it's coming from a place of love and because they really want me to do well. But then, like, a lot of the energy, it don't really come from that place. It comes from a pure place of judgment. They're looking at a person they don't understand. They're looking at a person and they're saying, man, you need to be moving like me. How dare you try to do something different in this life when I decided to do the same thing everybody else is doing? See, it's like people have accepted that this world is just the way it is. And that's the thing I don't accept. like I don't get, like, as a creative mind, I just don't get why people think that this is it. You know, like the way we move, the way majority of the world move, that's just the way it is. If it's one thing I really can't stand, I can't stand it's just the way it is type thinker. It's like, nah, it's not just the way it is. It's not. On any level of life, it's not just the way it is. You could create something else. Do you know how brilliant we are? Do you know we have, like, the most brilliant brain out of all the creatures on the planet? Like, what we can do with the human mind, it is amazing. And I'm not saying all human minds are created equal, because they're not. I know this for a fact. Everybody does not have the same level of brain. Like, it is just not. No. Some people just think on a different level. I understand this about myself. So, at the same time, where I feel offended and attacked by these people and just want them to understand, at the same time, I understand, like, these people are not thinking the way I'm thinking. So I can't hate people for not thinking like me. The thing with me is just like, all I'm doing is living my life publicly. I'm living it out loud. So that's the difference in, like, if I say something publicly and it rubs you the wrong way, like, if something I say pierces your spirit to the point where you feel moved to say something to me, just know that was not a personal attack on you, because I did not hit your inbox. I did not go to your page. I did not say that so that you would feel a way. So when people take the opportunity to hop on something that I've said publicly and they don't have enough mental, if they don't have enough, like, understanding or enough grace, or, you know, like those kind of words, like, you don't approach a person with anger. Like, you have to approach it with love and understanding, no matter how they're expressing it. Like, if they're not saying it to you direct, you can't ever take it personal. Even if I'm saying something that applies to you, even if I'm saying something that challenges something in you. But even like, I get it, man. Sometimes you just see stuff and it triggers you. And the way I speak, the way I talk about what I talk about, it triggers people. It's always going to trigger people because that's how I speak. I speak in truth and I speak from a place of like pure bravery. Like, if I believe in something, it's connected to something I care about, and it's always connected to something that's true. Like, I don't just speak. The only time I speak in pure faith, the only time I speak in faith is when I'm talking about a vision or a dream that I have not yet accomplished. That's the only time I speak in faith, in something that cannot be seen and something that is just not rooted in something true. Like right now, like, let's say if I say I'm going to travel the entire world with the wave movement, I'm going to touch every continent on this planet, and every continent will have felt my energy, and I will do content on every part of the world, and I'm going to unite the world. Like, I really believe these things. I have full faith that I'm capable of doing this. And I'm not just saying this out of just pure faith and not knowing who I am. Like, I've done enough in my life to know if I can be who I am in high school, in college, after college, move to another state where I don't know anybody, and be the same person and have the same effect. I'm having the same effect on every environment that I go to. So why would I ever believe that I can't do this anywhere on the planet? So like my belief in myself comes from knowing who I am and my energy. So like, when I speak publicly about my dreams and people look at it like it's crazy, like, oh, this is another thing I hate. I'll come online and say some shit like that. Like, man, I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to change the world. I've had people like critique that, and they'll come at me like, man, you just need to live realistic. Look at how you're talking. Like, yeah, you're gonna travel the world and do all. Yeah, but you gotta live more realistic. Like, I ain't never in my life told somebody what they can't do. So that be bugging my spirit. Like, don't tell me what I can't do, especially when I'm showing you I can do it. Like, I could see if I was just talking out of my ass and I got dreams that don't match my energy. My energy clearly matches every dream that I've ever spoke about. So like, that be the frustrating part. So then that's when I get into these back and forths with people where I feel like I have to explain myself when really there's nothing to explain. The actions are showing. So that's why I'm so glad that I finally made a piece of content where I can literally just direct people to this 1 hour film. And if you don't know who I am after watching that film, you just choosing not to accept what I'm showing you. That's how great the film is. That's how effective that film is. And I know it's effective because my own dad watched the film. My own father watched the film. This man raised me, and I lived with him for 30 years. So he knows me a lot better than, the people online that be saying stuff to me. And he's been alive longer than a lot of y'all. Like, he's in his 60s. So he's lived a longer life than me. He has seen more stuff than me. He's experienced more. He has more time on the planet. And my father looked at my film and said, this is the most, how did he say it? He basically said that my film was the best display of like teaching he has ever seen. Like, it was the most quality 1 hour and 8 minutes and 30 seconds that he's ever spent watching anything. And my dad watches a lot of shit. Like, he's a real deep thinker. Like, he likes to watch videos about truth. Videos like me and my dad, when we get into deep conversations, I love it because we have the same type of mind. We think differently on a lot of shit, but at the core, I think, we do see eye to eye on most things. But for him to look at my film and to tell me, like, he literally said, son, you have a different connection to the rhythm of the universe. Like, this is coming from my dad. This is coming from my dad. Like, do you know how good that feels? That's why, like, now I'm so free. I don't care what nobody has to say about me anymore. I'm gonna have another moment with y'all. I'm gonna have another moment of vulnerability. Like, when I came to Florida in a relationship. I was in love and I really loved her. I'm always gonna love that woman, even though I know in my heart she did me wrong. Like, she did not love me properly. And that shit hurt me to the core because I sacrificed so much for her. I sacrificed so much of myself for that woman just to be here in Florida and to end up by myself. And it's not like she left me. I had to make a decision for myself to leave something that just was not gonna be good for either one of us. Like, it was just horrible. It was just bad. And I had already sacrificed everything I could sacrifice. I already showed this woman enough to let her know I will do anything to make me and you work. I showed her. You know, like, because of her, I got my first job. Y'all know I speak about like, not having a job, not working. This woman made me get my first job. Didn't make me, but because I loved her so much, I sacrificed everything that I knew myself to be good for her. So I changed everything. I changed everything. I changed things about my core, like who I am. Like, I switched everything about my brand, how I was doing business, how I was like managing my YouTube. Like, I was deleting content. I was doing all type of shit just to like appease her and to look good to her. And then it got all the way to the point where now I moved all the way to another state with her. I left my family. I left everything. I said, fuck it. This woman, I really believe she is the one. And I'm going to do everything in my power to show her. I might not have a lot of money. I might not be in the best position as a man. And I know I'm not perfect, but I'm going to show this woman that I fuck with her to the point where I will drop things. I will change things. I will up and change everything about my life just for her. So when I got to Florida and I thought that was going to be the thing that fixed everything, and to get down here and to come to the realization that it didn't fix anything and the relationship was still bad. I still had to hear like negative things. I still had to feel like I wasn't good enough. I'm like, do you not see the level of effort? Like, this is what really matters. And to still be reduced to how much money I wasn't making. That shit killed me, man. I really died on the inside when I broke up with that woman. That shit hurt me in a way I have never been hurt. I wept for the first time in my life. I've cried a lot. Like, I'm a man that does not mind crying. I will cry in front of anybody. I don't care. Because if you can't cry, then you're not real. If you can't show your emotions in front of people, if you try to hide who you are from the people you love, then that ain't love to me. That's not love, man. Like, people got to break down them walls. People walking around with this trauma and they trying to protect themselves. I ain't never protected myself from love. If I love you, I'm going to show you how I feel. If I'm sad, you're going to know it. And it ain't no conversation I won't have with you. You can say anything to me. You could tell me anything. I'm not going to judge you for nothing. So yeah, just to get to Florida and to come to the realization that, damn, this shit is not what I thought it was. I really thought I was loved unconditionally. It's not. It's like this conditional love. So I don't know where I was going with this. I'm gonna just keep talking. So to get to the point where now I had to break up with this woman that I loved so much. And now I'm in Florida. I'm in a small town in Florida where I don't know anybody. And I had to be myself and make it work. And literally within a month, I ended up on the fucking news. Like, when that moment happened, that was one of the realizations where I was like, you know what? I'm not crazy. This dream I have, I really possess the energy to do it. And look, it's people, somebody just reached out to me from Lake County. I just got tagged in a post in Eustis Word of Mouth. And this lady randomly thought of me on a day. Like, I haven't been like posting in there for months. It's been like the whole like second half of the year, like I haven't been seen. And she commented on one of my posts and she said, "Where you been? I miss the waves." Like she misses the energy. And she reached out to me personally and she told me, what you did in Lake County, because the people that talk to me about Lake County, they say Lake County is a tough crowd. Like Lake County is supposed to be full of these people that just don't embrace people. And it's just a bunch of people that are set in their ways and like ain't no love. And I'm coming into this fucking town that everybody's saying all this bad shit about. And in a month, not even a full month, I have this huge following of the entire community. I got West Channel 2 News doing a story on me, on just my energy. It ain't got nothing to do with like a specific, like it wasn't about art. It wasn't about like a talent. It wasn't about no it was literally, they made the story about the wave. And what is the wave? That's just my essence. That's my love for people. So when that moment happened, it's like these type of moments happen and people are looking like they see this shit happening and people still talk to me like I'm normal, like I'm regular. They like they suggest ideas for me. They suggest these small ideas for me like I have small energy. And that's when I go back and forth with people. That's when I get into these barking matches with people where I have to like check people and be like, do you know who you talking to? Like, what the I really be feeling like people don't know who they talking to. So again, bringing it back to the film, I don't feel like I ever have to argue with anybody. I'm still going to have conversations with people on my page because that's what I like to do. If you haven't noticed yet, I really love talking to people. And I'm really good at it because I really give a damn about humanity. Every person that comments on my page, if I have the time, which I usually do because I do this for a living, this is what I do. And my Facebook account is now monetized, which I'm glad about that. I'm ready to kind of see like what that income is going to look like, to see if that's something that's going to be like something that I could really make a living off of soon. Because I really just want to stop thinking about this money. I really want to stop thinking about this money. And I don't believe everybody has to live the same way. And I don't appreciate when people try to put me in a box. I don't belong in none of these boxes people be trying to put me in. So the more I talk about myself and the more I connect, I just feel like that's all I can do to make people understand me better. And I accept that there are some people that just don't want to understand, and there are people that just want to see me the way that they see me. And that's fine too, because like I said, my dad looked at the film. That's going to be my response to everything. Like, I don't give a damn what you think about me. My fucking dad said that film I made, come on, bro. And like, when you really love your parents, that really means the most. Because me and my dad haven't always had the best times. Like, we went through a time where like I expressed myself publicly through a song, and I was very honest about the pain I have connected to my dad. And it was perceived as a diss song. So we went through a phase where I was about to get basically cut off for real. Like, I wasn't even going to be part of the family no more after that. It was on that type of energy. But because my dad is a logical thinker and he does know how to think about things outside of himself, when he got over the initial pain of hearing what I said, he showed understanding, and he was like, you know what? I can't be mad at that song. I get it. You know, and then it was a dope moment. But then, like, when moments like that happen, it does change the relationship moving forward. So yeah, it's just like, but honestly, me and my dad always gonna be good. You know, I feel like we all have these pent up emotions and different relationships that we have with our parents, and we all have different levels of trauma, you know, like, because nobody has the perfect parent. You're always going, like, no matter how good of a parent you are, I just feel like your children are always going to have something bad to say. It's always going to be some type of critique. You ain't going to have the perfect relationships with your parents or your children. So that moment just felt great to know that it just feels good to know that your fucking parent is proud of you, or your parent is impressed with what you're doing. And what I know, I might not be in a position that my parents envisioned. Because, you know, my parents and a lot of people's parents envision their kids doing a certain thing in life. I'm sure, like, because I've always been smart. I was always a good student. Like, I wasn't getting in trouble. I was the good kid. And I had everything that I needed to take a normal path in life, to get a degree, get a good job. You know, I'm a charming guy. It's not hard for me to build relationships with women. So, like, if I wanted to, you know, have a wife and kids, like, I probably could have done all that shit at an earlier age in my life. And they would have understood that more. You know, like, they would have been able to process that and be proud of that. But the fact that I'm taking this completely different type of life path, I know that's got to be tough for them to, like, understand it. So I remember, like, when I first moved out of my parents' place, and when I started to really show myself online in a way that I wasn't doing when I was at home, because I was never comfortable being my full self in front of my parents, just because of, you know, how they raise their kids and their idea of respect. You know, there's a certain line where you can't really show your full self. So when I got out, it's like, okay, I started to grow more into myself, and then they had to see me for who I am. So then, like, there's just this time period as a parent where you have to see your child for who they actually are and not who you wanted them to be or who they were under your roof when you were giving them rules and structure and things to abide by. So, like, it just feels good to be at a point where I know I'm moving fully in myself, and my dad is seeing me for who I am. Like, he's really seeing who I am, and he respects that shit. Even with me being out here as a nomad, I don't have a house. I don't have money. I haven't even checked my bank account lately, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably, like, close to $100 right now. And I got bills that I haven't paid. You know, I haven't really checked my car stuff, but I'm really hoping my car don't get repoed. But I'm not going to speak that, though. The money is going to come. Money's gonna come. I'm gonna get aligned. It's gonna come. I'm already aligned, and I accept, like, whatever I have, I have. If I lose things, it's fine, man. It's material stuff. I'm gonna figure it out. Clearly, I'm not moving in a way where I want to lose things. But if I'm moving in my purpose and I lose shit, then it wasn't supposed to be mine. Like, I'm not supposed to have it at that time. That's just how I look at life. What the fuck was that sound? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it probably hit my hair probably hit my microphone or something. I don't know. What was the sound you heard? Hey, I haven't really been reading y'all comments. So if y'all been typing to me, please excuse me. This is not one of those interactive lives where I'm, like, trying to read all the comments. I'm really just trying to express myself. And I'm going to be uploading all these live sessions to my YouTube. I have a playlist where I'm just going to post all these live sessions. Because when I go live, I say a lot. And it's important shit. And my life is about planting as many seeds as I can plant. And I plant my seeds in a lot of different ways. I can speak candidly for hours and speak on so many topics that are relatable and messages that people need to hear. And this is why in the film, I compared myself. I'm going to give y'all a little piece of what's in the film. Alien flying by, sorry. Yeah, in the film, I drew a comparison to Martin Luther King Jr. because that man is the only person that you could really compare me to. And somebody hit me up today publicly and was like, you could never compare to Martin Luther King Jr. You could never compare to MLK. That's when we was talking about the whole God thing, though. I don't really want to go too much into detail about this whole God thing, unless y'all want me to go there. Y'all want me to talk about this whole God thing? I just made a post. I posted a very small clip from the film where I said love is greater than God. And you know how clips work. You know how media works. I'm just doing the same thing that media does, but I'm doing it for something positive. Like, I'm not manipulating y'all mind to do something negative. I'm showing you things, and I know it's going to trigger you. But I didn't do it to trigger you. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm speaking what I know I'm supposed to speak. And I know I be knowing when I'm about to say something that's going to trigger people. But I'm not the troll. Like, I'm not the internet troll looking for those moments. I just happen to have a message and a voice that just, it's going to pierce you. I have important shit to say. I have different things to say. my mind is not working like majority of the people around me. And I can't help that. And when you got a mind like mine, it's easy to be scared to speak up. Like, you can limit yourself. You can really limit yourself because it's like, damn, if you, it's like, God damn, like, I know if I really show my full self, people gonna be fucking mad. So then I get into the people pleasing mode where I'm like, well, let me not show them everything, because I do still want these people to like me and love me. So let me just show them like the part of me that I know they gonna like. Because if I show them everything, they really gonna think I hate them, or they really gonna think that I'm out to like attack them or just offend them. And this is every time I really start speaking my mind, I always got to deal with this energy. So I'm going to speak candidly about this. And you can see more about this in my film. So imagine being, all right, I compare myself to MLK. Damn, I don't want to say too much about what's in the film. I want y'all to go watch the damn film. How can I say this without saying everything I said in the film? I feel like one of them filmmakers where they be like, hey, you got to watch the film. You know how they make the little trailers? They make the trailers where you can see like just specific parts of the film. They don't give... Hey, that's another thing I don't like about films though, because I'm not a movie watcher, but the films, they always show like the best scenes before you even look at the movie. And then when you see the movie, you're like, oh, I seen that scene. That's the damn... Like, man, I don't know. I don't really... But I get it. Like, you have to throw out the teasers. You got to throw out a little bit so people can want to go fucking see it. So, like, that's basically what I've been working on now is, like, I'm chopping up so many small pieces of the film. And I said so much in the film to where, like, I have so many reels that I could make. But when you see the reel, you can't get the whole message. Like, you can't process everything that I was saying just by watching the clip. But because people have short attention spans, they're going to watch the clip before they watch a whole hour film. My thing is, okay, you had enough time to watch the 1 minute or the 3 seconds. I got some reels that are 3 seconds long. Like, I posted a reel where I said, love is greater than God. That reel is like 3 or 4 seconds long. And that's all I said in the reel was, love is greater than God. If you go to the comments on these posts, if you just look at the level of conversation that one statement is sparking, and they don't even know the whole context of what I was saying in the film to get me to say that part. But this is how media does with these headlines. They show you the most triggering thing because they know you're going to respond. So, like, I could do this all the time. I could be that person. I could be that. The only reason I'm doing it now is because I have something important that I want you to look at. And I don't care if it triggers you because I said it. Like, yeah, I said it. I said it and I'm standing on it. Now, the thing with this whole love is greater than God statement, people think I'm trying to get people to believe or think like me, and that's not it. I'm speaking fact. I'm speaking truth. And when I have these conversations with people about God, there's a difference in the stance. Like, people have to understand the difference between a faith-based statement and a truth-based statement. They're different. They are very different. But the thing that happens, like, when you have so much faith in an idea, it becomes truth in your mind. And you start to speak on your faith as a truth-based thing. So I remember when I first started having conversations with people about religion when I was in my 20s. And, like, I started to quickly learn how people are very, 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 very sensitive about their beliefs. They're very, very protective over their beliefs. People do not want to hear anything that would challenge them to think outside of their faith. They don't want to do it, and they take it very, very personally. So, like, but it's important to be able to speak on who you are, right? It's important to be able to speak your truth. So I'm just speaking my truth. But imagine how difficult it is in a country where this is a Christian country. Majority of this country is Christian. Majority of this country are God-fearing people. And I learned at a very young age that I am not going to be accepted. My own mother said it to me. My mom keeps it all the way real with me. When she figured out I don't believe in God, that didn't change her love for me. But when she understood that I really have that stance and like I don't believe in God, I remember her telling me, that's going to make it real difficult on you in this world. Like she said that, like everybody ain't going to accept that. And at a young age, I told her like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm all right, because I'm going to have to be okay with it. Because my thing is, if people can speak so openly about how much they love God, and that energy is met with so much support, I know for a fact, if I said the word God, if I praised God in everything that I ever did or said, I would have a different level of support, because people are very connected to that word. Like it means a lot to a lot of people. And to me, it has never meant anything to me. That's really how I feel. That word has never meant, it doesn't move me. It doesn't move me. I remember at a young age, I tried to sit in the bathroom because like my mom always told me, you got to believe in something. Because my mom is Catholic. My mom is a Catholic, and she didn't have us in the church because when me and my brother were really young, they had this thing on the news about these Catholic priests touching little boys and doing inappropriate things to the kids. So at that point, my mom was like, oh no, I'm not about to have my kids in the church. So we didn't grow up in the church because it was wicked energy. It was like really wicked energy in the church. So her being the protective mom, she removed us from that. She did not want to have us in that environment. So I didn't grow up in the church. So I don't speak the God language. That wasn't instilled in me. And even like, I know some people that grew up in the church environment and still grew up to believe something different or to just have a different type of spirituality. So in my film, I'm going into these topics about like understanding the core of a person and not judging them based on what they believe or what they don't believe, because that doesn't tell you anything about a person. So I make this strong statement about love being greater than God, because I know love is like the root of everything. Because if I don't have faith in God and you do have faith in God, but we still love each other, then what matters? Does it matter that you believe and I don't? It doesn't. All that matters is we love each other. That's it. It's the universal language. So I talk about it in greater detail in the film. And I knew like once I posted that little clip, and I still have more clips that I can post that'll spark conversation. I love the conversation. People have conversation every day on social media about bullshit. Like entertainment. It's usually entertainment, mainstream media, news. Like these conversations people be having don't be important at all. The stuff that people spend their brain power on and their emotions on, these conversations are not connected to anything that's going to help push humanity to a better place. It's not going to make us think in a different way. It's not going to make us love each other more. These are literally just moments of conversations and bullshit, entertainment. And when the moment is over, people just looking for another moment and another thing to attach their mind to. It's like people love distractions. That's what I've learned. People really love to be distracted. So like the people out here that's trying to push a message of truth or a message of, wokeness. I don't ever put myself in the woke community. I don't even like that fucking word. I don't ever use that word. I don't want to be woke. I don't want to know. Stop. Nah. Don't call me woke. Don't ever call me woke. God damn it. We all woke. We woke up, didn't we? Everybody's woke. You woke up, didn't you? You ain't dead, right? You woke then. All right. I don't like that damn word. But anyway, man, I'm just happy to be alive and to be able to express. And I know I'm here to express my truth and what I believe and what I'm working on. And honestly, my life is less about what I believe and more about what I'm doing and what I know I can do for humanity. I'm about action. I'm not just talking just to talk. It's a lot of people on this planet that just talk just to talk. Like their words are not connected to anything that's like their words aren't connected to anything real or anything that is in motion. Like when I'm speaking, I'm always doing something. I'm always trying to push something. I'm always like working on something that's going to help me get into a better position so I can continue to do what I'm doing for humanity. So like, I do sometimes wish that we lived in a world where you didn't have to fight so hard, because I don't believe the world was always like this. I don't believe it was always a world where you had to fight so hard just to live, really. That's really all I'm fighting to do. I'm not even fighting to do nothing crazy. Like I want to do what I know I'm here to do. And if you look at what I do, it's very, very pure. I'm going around, I'm meeting people, I'm telling stories, I'm bringing communities together. I am increasing the level of love in these communities where I don't know anybody. I'm just meeting people and building relationships, and that shit is valuable because we live in a world where that shit is not common. And you know why I know it's not common? Because with me doing it, it gets on the news. It gets me hit up by random people saying, yo, the world needs more of what you're doing. And all I'm doing is spreading love and connecting with people. And I do it in a very unique way. We're not gonna act like anybody could do this, because it's not something that anybody could do. Number one, you gotta just have the type of personality to where you can step out wherever you are and connect with people. And you gotta have social media know-how. You gotta know how to write. You gotta know how to connect online. Like, it's a lot of different things that I do that make it possible for me to do what I'm doing. So I know it's a very unique skill set that I have, and it's a very unique energy that I have. And I'm here to make sure I do everything I can to show people as much of this energy as I can. I want to leave it all here. I just want to leave it all here. That's why we're alive. You're here to leave as much of your energy, your passions, your love, your dreams, because you only get this one life in this vessel that you're in to do whatever you need to do here. So you better be spending every moment of your life, or as many moments of your life, as much of your life as you can, doing exactly what you know you're here to do. That's assuming that you figured out who you are and why you're here. Because when you have that type of understanding, you have this type of passion that I have. So I just want to thank y'all for listening to me and following me. I'm going to post this to my YouTube. I do have shirts that I'm selling. I'm about to reveal a logo. For the time being, I am going to get back into showing some of my services that I sell so that I can attract some potential clients and people and let them know that I do still do this type of work. But again, the goal is to grow my Patreon to a point where I don't have to sell anything. And I'm not calling it gratuity anymore. If you want to know the word that I'm using now, you got to watch the film. I'll be showing the word on my page pretty soon and just showing people what this word means and why it's important for my life. And I feel it'll be a word that's used even after I'm not here for specific people that, you know, might have a similar energy that I have. Because I honestly know that the energy that I have is important for humanity. And my own dad told me that. He told me that in the same comment I was referring to earlier. He said, my energy is important for the spirit of humanity. My dad told me that. So if my dad told me that, ain't nobody else got to tell me nothing. Nobody else got to validate that. And my own dad didn't have to validate it, but he did. So the fact that he did, and I come from that man, for him to say that my energy is important for humanity, and he's been on this planet, he know what's up. And I saw my dad cry. I saw my dad cry in a moment of having a conversation with him. And he cried when he started speaking on, like, he never knew, like, how to support me. Like, how he knew I was special. He always knew I was gifted, but he never knew exactly how to support me. And I remember when he was talking about that, he teared up. Like, he had to stop talking because he got emotional. So I know it's real. I know he wants me to do well. I know he wants me to win in whatever the winning is. Like, because I'm already winning. This shit ain't about money, man. It's just really about being able to walk in your purpose and be free, man. Like, and be the person you know you're here to be. And like I've said in other pieces of content, I don't need a whole lot of money to do that. So when you look at my film, I'll break down that the way Martin Luther King was living, that's how I want to live. And the only thing that makes me different from MLK is his connection to the church and the fact that I'm not connected to the church. That's the only difference. That's why he had monetary support, because churches have monetary support. It's a given that if you go to a church, paying your tithes it's an expected thing. You have to do it. It's like you don't have to do it, but you know you have to do it. Because it's like this church means a lot to you. And in order for it to stay alive, you got to invest in it. So in the film, I go into detail about how I am that. I'm the same energy of a church. I'm just not religious. That's why it's hard for me to explain to people what's going on, because they have this connection to this God term, and they're not looking at me as something that's as important as that. But I am. Because I've had people tell me, man, you just need to turn yourself into a nonprofit. So what's a church? A church is a nonprofit. I have the same type of mentality and energy as a church. It's just non-religious. So it's like, I don't be wanting to have to talk about religion and God, but because it's so prevalent, especially here in America, being in a Christian country, it's like I have to talk about it just to be able to explain to people what I'm doing. So, yeah. Chris said, why is a grown man trying to tell you to get your daughter? What the fuck is wrong? Oh, I ain't even been reading the comments. I ain't really here to, I didn't do this live to go back and forth. I didn't do this live to have conversations. And especially if you're bringing up my daughter, I don't really respect people that be trying to bring up my personal life. I know I'm very open and I share with y'all my personal life, but honestly, that's really, y'all be out of pocket when y'all do that. And I've said it before, I would definitely appreciate if y'all just stop speaking on my personal life. If I'm not bringing it up, then don't talk to me about that. Like, that's disrespectful, and it ain't hurtful, because I don't really care what y'all be saying, because I know why I'm moving how I'm moving. Like, I don't care what y'all think about that situation, about my personal life. I know why it is the way it is right now. Y'all really don't know shit. You talking out your ass. You're talking out the side of your neck about some shit you don't know about. So it's like, that's why I don't really go back and forth with y'all. Like, I'm not about to go back and forth with y'all about a little girl that I brought into the world and took care of for 2 years. And yeah, like, nah, man, we're not about to go there. I've already spoken publicly about that in different content, like months and months ago. If I'm not bringing it up, don't bring it up. Like, in this live session, I started talking about my ex. So if you wanted to start talking about that, then cool, because I brought it up. If I'm not bringing it up, don't bring it up. You know, like, just don't bring it up. I would really appreciate that. Just don't bring it up if I don't bring it up. I don't think that's too much to ask. Just talk about what I'm talking about, okay? Like, nah, I'm not gonna judge nobody what they're doing in their personal life with their kids, their family. That's real touchy subjects, man. You don't go there. And you be doing that a lot, Mike. Like, you be doing that a lot, and then you'll bring up even in my love life, you'll just like bring up names of people. Like, that's not cool, bro. Like, stop doing that. Stop it. I know we're here to express freely, but there is a line of respect. Like, you should know there are certain things you can't just be bringing up. You can't just be bringing up anything about a person. When it's time for me to talk about that, I'll talk about it. It ain't time to talk about that. Yeah, it ain't time to talk about that shit. Nope. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to y'all about this film. I really want y'all to watch that film. I really want y'all to, Chris, I'm just saying, dog, nobody wants you to say. Yeah. Mike, I'm gonna say it one more time, bro. I know I brought it up. At some point in my life, I shared with y'all about having a daughter. But if I'm not bringing it up in the present moment, I don't give a fuck how many damn videos I've made about her. Don't be talking about my daughter. That shit is out of pocket. Like, if I'm not bringing it up, shut up about it. Like, nah, that's a touchy subject. You gotta respect the line. You gotta respect. Don't do that. But yeah, man, I'm just really excited that I did not know I was gonna have my first film. I didn't know I was gonna have my first film online, and it really feels good. It was a different experience. I had to lock myself in a cave for like 4 days just editing this movie nonstop. I don't really call it a movie though. I call it a film. I call it a phone film. I call it a phone film. I want people to definitely know it's something that I made and created all from my phone. And it really gave me a new idea of a type of content that I'm probably going to start doing more of, because I'm really a good teacher. I'm really a good teacher. I know how to break things down. And I've had people tell me that, even people that went to school with me. One person told me, like, you could definitely be a teacher. Like, you were always the one in class that would break it down in a way where we could get it. Like, if the teacher didn't break it down in a way that we could understand, I would always be the one to break it down so that we could get it. And I didn't even know I was doing that. I didn't even know. She had to tell me that, like, recently. It's within the last few years she told me that, like, yeah, back in high school, like, when we didn't understand, you always had like a better way to say stuff. So I'm gonna start using that gift more, because I have a whole lot of gifts. So now I figured out, just by making this film, I have a new style that I can start to tap into, and I can just start, like, I can start expressing things in a different kind of way, and like showing people and breaking things down. I'm gonna start doing more of that, and it's gonna be shorter videos. They're not all gonna be like full length films, but I'm really gonna start doing it because it was fun. I like doing it. I really like it, and the film is getting a lot of views. It's over 400 views in a 24-hour period. My YouTube is getting a lot more active. I used to not get a whole lot of activity on my YouTube, but lately I've been getting a lot of hits on like content. Like, this energy I'm on, YouTube likes it. So I think I'm talking about some stuff that, you know, people on YouTube are searching and they're wanting to find. So, like, I have a video. It was one of these like Aota Essence videos where I'm just like talking. It did like over 1,000 in 24 hours. It's at 1.7K right now. It's just like a talking video. And then my film now, my 1 hour film, is at like over 400 views in 24 hours. So I'm going to be pushing this film for the rest of my life. It's going to have all the answers that people need to know about me. So if it's any like confusion about who I am, why I'm here, again, I'm never going to have to explain myself again. And that feels good as an artist, because all an artist wants is to be understood and to be heard and to have our vision to be seen in the world and for people to receive it. You ain't even got to accept it. Just the fact that I was able to put it out, it's out. I don't have to think about it no more. Like, I don't have to, it's not in me anymore. I let everything out. I spoke on everything, all the touchy subjects, everything about me that made me who I am and put me on this path. It is in the film. It is in the film. Chris said I haven't peeped it yet, but you know I will. Yeah, bro, check it out. It's really dope. It's really deep. So yeah, thank y'all for looking at this live. I'm about to hop in the car, and I'm gonna go somewhere and find some Wi-Fi so I can finish this logo for a client. So be on the lookout for that. If y'all need graphic design work, I'm gonna be showing more of my graphics because I do need to make some money. So I'm going to put my mind back in entrepreneur mode, and I'm gonna try to sell some stuff. I'm actually gonna try. I'm actually going to put energy into that again, because I was doing it for years and paying bills and, you know, supporting my life, supporting everybody, supporting shit. I was supporting my family at the time, my daughter. Like, I was doing that with my own business. So it's just a shift in my mind. I know where I'm trying to go, but until I get there, I'm gonna have to shift a little bit right now. And I also have my mind in another place right now that I'm not gonna speak on yet, but I'm kind of moved to do something. I might do it pretty soon, and you'll see what it is if I do decide to do that. So yeah, thank y'all again. If you want a wave shirt, I do have a lot of wave shirts. I would like to sell some of those, so I can pay some of these bills. And yeah, graphics are coming and all other type of stuff. Thank you for listening, as always. It's never any, I don't leave these live sessions like hating anybody. If you express yourself like Mike, I don't hate you, bro. Like, keep expressing yourself, and I'm going to express myself. And I would hope that you would respect, you know, the lines that I put up or the boundaries that I set. You know, just respect the boundary I'm setting. No matter what you think about me or what you feel is okay for you to say, just, you know, that's one of those topics that just don't bring that up. You ain't got to bring that up. You don't. So yeah, thank y'all. I love you, and I'll be back another time, because I do like to go live a lot. I'm gonna start doing this more often. Go subscribe to my YouTube, Alexander Ayota, my Patreon. I actually have more levels that you can join on Patreon. I'm gonna start just pushing more business stuff. I got to go back in that bag for a little minute. All right, love y'all. Oh, I got a wave. Hold up. I got a wave.